I think it's like Wednesday the 27th. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I gotta fly to South Carolina. I haven't been there in the past year and a half. Um, so that'll be all right. I mean, I guess I gotta spend 3 days with my mom, and although she's staying in a different house, miles away, so maybe it'll just be my brother, my grandmother, myself. Um, the book is so fucking good. It's like getting there. I mean, I could just send it away right now, but I want it to be good, smooth. And I mean, loose ends, you know. Um, One of the issues I'm struggling with the book, not struggling with, but just something that needs to be addressed, is the difference between a supreme supreme being, like the conscious thinking of God outside of our reality, and then the spirit, the supreme, like I guess the spirit within our reality, which I guess is what Jesus was referring to as the Holy Spirit, versus God the Father, which is like the conscious mind of God outside of our reality. And the mechanism to interact with our reality is the spirit. Moses called it the angel of the Lord, which is like an angel is a mechanism for which God does his bidding on earth. And the way I think about it is, if we're in like being in a simulation, the player outside the simulation, i.e. God, uses the spirit, which is just his mechanism or agent within the simulation, or a mechanism to interact with the simulation, you know. And those two things, what are you looking at? Like when you see the face of God, you're seeing the mechanism or the spirit, because outside of the simulation you can't see. You can't see God the Father, who's there. It's really fucking smart. What's funny is, so anyway, so I'm trying to differentiate between like the supreme being and spirit, and then just the word God. Like which one's God, the spirit or the being? Well, the being's God, but then in your face is the spirit when you see him. So, but really, you're just seeing, like, you're just seeing his mechanism on earth. If that makes sense. You see, it's not easy to do. It's like if you're playing a video game, you're you playing a game, but in the game, the unit doesn't has any idea of what you are. You're just the mind controlling it with your, clicking with your hand on a mouse. But the unit on the board, when you intervene, your mechanism, the mouse like clicking, not on your end, but in the game, that little icon, the mouse is click. The way that click feels to the unit is the equivalent of the spirit when you see the face of God. If that makes sense. And of course, it's like, well, you're fucking not right because you've never seen this. Well, of course you haven't, because you don't deserve to. And when you read my book, you'll see all the reasons why you didn't do this. Not to rub it in your face, but to show you this is the level of output you need to achieve to see the face of God. Not the same story. That's my story. You get a story. And right now your story sucks. 100% of human beings are living like bullshit lives compared to this world. Anyway, so I'm thinking about that. What else am I thinking about? I haven't really been posting these too much because I know exactly what I need to do. My whole fucking existence has been like primed to this. I really drove home the who dat thing. Like, why did I yell who dat at the Wynton Marsalis concert? Why did I shout it? I shouted from the crowd, who dat, as loud as I could. I'm not sure why I did that. I mean, I do know because he was going to play a song from New Orleans. It was the first two words, or the first phrase that came to mouth, that it sort of, summarizes New Orleans. But how the fuck did he know? I mean, I know how through omniscience, like how he knew I was gonna say that. But did I have a choice? I mean, I know I chose to do so, but it just leads me to believe like I'm like a unit on a board. I mean, how the fuck could you have that written down 2,000 years ago that does say, the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout? And what that means is when I scream "Who dat," when I yell "Who dat" at that concert, I'm at the, if you take every set of music that's ever been recorded live and you stack them side by side, which one's the best one to introduce world peace? And by me yelling, shouting "Who dat," which is short for "Who dat, who dat, who dat," say they're gonna beat them Saints, who dat? Who that say they're gonna beat them Saints? I mean, think about the phrasing on that. It's basically a battle cry, saying who's gonna fucking beat the Saints? Because we're right here. Who dat? Anyway, in the background of that is Wynton Marsalis, Nasir Shamma, Dan Nimmer, Ali Jackson, etc., etc. Wynton Marsalis and the Septet, and Carlos Enriquez. And, why did I shout that out loud? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, if you were to play a set of music to everyone in the world, choosing the specific songs, the location, everything, and you were to present it to 8 billion human beings or 7.7 or whatever we're at now, and take a vote, the most, let's see, the one that attracts the most votes is the Wynton Marsalis Nasir Shamma from August 7th, 2017. And I guess that was 2 weeks before the Great American Eclipse, and the month before the number one sign in Christianity, prophetic sign in Christianity. That'll never happen again. An alignment of stars formed over Jerusalem. That day I decided to package my story up into a movie. Just from recording like I was here. I'm thinking about Maudie. Having him read my book. He just, I think I'm going to say to him, I'm going to be like, look, just read it. I think I'm going to get thrown out after I publish it, so just tell me what you think. And then at the end it's him. I don't know, some other shit happened. I don't really fucking care about anything other than this book. It's like the coolest. Because it's like God's story. But it's my story. It's both of us. We work together. I didn't give up on him. He didn't give up on me. I'm thinking about natural disasters too. My book was released on April 15th. That was the same day Notre Dame burned down. He's gonna fuck this world up. I mean, I don't get the impression he wants to fuck the world up. I just get the impression he wants everyone doing this activity. Writing their own book. Shooting their own movie. Putting it within a book that they write. For him. And by doing so, he answers questions that we argue about all the time. Like in my book, there's the topic of abortion, drug use, theft, gay, homosexual behavior, like the LGBT community, I guess is probably the best way to say it. In my friend's book, in Monty's book, it'll be like family. It'll be like, being Middle Eastern in a different fucking country. Like, I don't know, I don't know what the hell this book's gonna be, because it's gonna be fucking his book. Well, God's book. It'll be both of them. And God will help him make a better book, and then there'll be a bunch of miracles in it, and it'll be awesome. And I guess the important thing about him as well is he has to tell or explain to the Arab world, or to the Muslim world, I guess I should better say, because it's much bigger than just an Arab thing. He has to explain to the Muslim world from someone they trust that, hey guys, this is possible. So anyway, that's it. I could talk for hours. All right. Yeah.